Your homework is to memorize this and write it 15 times.
Welcome to the coolest, hippest half hour of fun on TV. This is Brain Stew with Jennifer Pulley.
This week, Brain Stew goes backstage at the Virginia Opera and talks to the cast and crew of Verdi's Il Trovatore. What does it take to put together an opera? Brain Stew finds out. So, put down that remote, put your feet up, relax, and enjoy a behind-the-scenes look at the opera. Next.
Okay, so what is opera? Well, basically, opera is a story told through singing. We all love stories, right? We love to hear them. We love to tell them. Do you like to tell jokes? Well, that's a story. We love to listen to gossip. We read books, we watch soap operas, and we go to movies and theaters. Opera is a story told through singing. Love. You know, opera is also really cool because it's a combination of many different arts. Theater or plays, music, jamming, dance, or design, you know, costumes, makeup, wigs.
How did opera begin?
Well, actually, the idea of opera belonged to the ancient Greeks, but opera, as you and I know it today, was begun over 400 years ago in Europe. Get this. In the beginning, the only people that were allowed to see operas were kings and queens. That leaves me out. Eventually, common people, like you and I, were allowed to enjoy operas in theaters built especially for viewing operas. These buildings were called opera houses.
What are operas about?
That's a good question. Well, you know operas are based on stories, right? Well, about 400 years ago, most operas were based on very serious stories. Then comedy came along. Yeah, comedy. Operas can be really funny if you know what they're saying, or, well, singing. Now, if you were paying attention, you heard that opera began in Europe. Well, eventually opera came to the United States at the turn of the 19th century, around 1795. Okay, let's see if I can pronounce this. Il Trovatore. Hey, did you know that only 2 out of every 10 operas are written in English? How are we supposed to understand an opera if it's not written in English? We'll talk about that one later. Hey, do you remember when I said how cool opera was because it was a combination of many different arts? You remember, I thought you would. You know, operas just couldn't be produced without singers, directors, costumes, makeup, sets, conductors to help direct the musicians. Thanks. Today, Brain Stew is in Norfolk, Virginia at the Harrison Opera House, sneaking behind the scenes of Giuseppe Verdi's Il Trovatore. Now that's Italian for the troubadour.
What's a troubadour?
That's a good question. A troubadour is a poet or a musician, very successful poet or musician, from the 11th, 12th, or 13th century. That's a long time ago. My tickets are waiting. Thank you. Let's go meet some important people who make an opera happen. The first person that we're going to be talking to is Darko. He's the director of Il Trovatore. Did I say that right? Il Trovatore.
Il Trovatore.
Okay, you've got it. Okay, now who was Giuseppe Verdi? He wrote this opera.
Verdi wrote the opera. He was a great 19th century Italian composer. And if you think about William Shakespeare, you know, what he is to theater, then Giuseppe Verdi, that's what he was to opera. So probably the greatest opera composer of all time, in my opinion. And he wrote a lot of famous operas like Aida, Traviata, most of them very, very tragic stories.
Yeah, and is Il Trovatore tragic?
It is tragic, but it's also, it's kind of like a swashbuckling movie. It has elements of those old pirate movies, you know.
So it's fun.
Yes, it's very fun. It's very fun.
Now, did Verdi write the story and did he write the music?
No, he based the opera on a Spanish play, on a Spanish melodrama, 19th century melodrama by a playwright called Gutierrez. And Salvatore Comarano, who was a friend of his and a collaborator, he turned it into an opera libretto. And libretto is basically like a play for the singer. So basically it's the word part. So Kumarano wrote the words and then Verdi wrote the music to them.
So Darko, we're here on the set, and I'm looking around. What is Il Trovatore about?
It's a great story about two brothers who are separated in their youth, and they don't know that they're brothers, and they become enemies. And they fight on different sides of the war, and they fall in love with the same woman, Leonora. And they're both very passionately in love with her. So that's basically what the story is about.
So I guess it's kind of a love story.
It's a love story.
Now, you're the director, okay? Tell me, what are your responsibilities? I mean, is this all on your shoulders?
Maybe half of it. Well, maybe not even a half, but basically I'm responsible for the movement, for telling people basically where to go and how to act, you know, and how to deal with a set.
And you tell them where to go,
Yeah.
where to stand, that's all up to you.
Right.
Well, Darko, you've got me very excited about this opera. I cannot wait to come and see and see how it goes.
That's what we want.
Great, great. Where are we going next? Who am I going to speak with?
You're going to meet Thomas Goldstein, who's playing Ferrando, who, if you come to the opera performance, you won't recognize him because his makeup and his hair is going to be so wild and so different. That's the nice thing about opera. You get to change it to somebody completely different. So.
Totally different.
Right.
Great, and you direct him, right?
That's right.
Okay, well, I'm going to go talk. He's a singer, right?
He's a singer.
All right, well, I'm
Got
off.
it.
Thank you so
Great.
much. I appreciate it.
Good.
Okay, so the director directs the singers. Well, this is Tom Goldstein. He's a singer. How you doing, Tom?
Hi, great.
Good, good. Listen, I have a question. How many different singers are there in an opera?
Well, there are basically 5. 2 in the women. You have the highest voice, which is a soprano. Then the lower, but below that is the mezzo-soprano.
Okay.
And then 3 different types for the male voice, the highest being the tenor. Then you have the baritone and the lowest, which is mia bass.
You're a bass singer.
Yeah.
Now, why are there 5 different, I mean, I understand the difference between the men and the women's voices, but what's the difference between a tenor and a bass?
Well, a tenor will be singing very high, and I myself will be singing very low, such as low, 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 low.
That's
So
really
I'm the lowest
low.
And I'm the lowest of all the voices.
You're the lowest of them all. That's great. Gosh, I don't think I could do low like that.
Low,
No. You have to make a face like that. You can go, no.
low.
Okay. So, Tom, is that all you do in an opera is just sing?
Well, we also have to act our parts. It's like a play where we all have a different thing to do and perform. And so you have to act either mean or be a very nice person or an evil person or anything, whatever the director wants.
Now, what's your character?
I am,
Or who is your character?
my title name is Ferrando, and I am the head guard. And basically, I am out to catch the evil gypsy who had killed the baby, the count's baby.
Yeah.
So, and I'm obsessed,
And you're a soldier.
right? And
Right.
I get my men ready for battle.
Are you a nice guy or an evil guy?
I'm a nice guy, but want to catch the evil person.
That's good, though. That's good. That's good. You want to catch the evil person. So you have the makeup and the you've got a whole
I have a
costume.
long wig, and I play an older person, so I'll look like I'm 65.
So we're not going to recognize you then.
Probably not, no.
That's great, but we'll recognize.
The voice maybe.
Okay, good. Now, who is going off to next?
Next, you will be talking to Anna, who is a soprano, and she is the highest of the female voices.
So the complete opposite from you.
The complete opposite.
Well, great. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you.
Fernando? No, what is it?
Ferrando.
Ferrando. Anna?
Hey, Jennifer.
How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm
Come
good.
on in.
I'm good. I'm good. All right. Now, I just talked to Tom.
Okay.
And he is a bass.
A bass, yes.
Okay, very low voice. You're not a bass.
I'm not a bass. I'm a soprano. So I have a little bit of not even a little bit, a very high voice. So when I'm in the opera, I sing. Like you probably have heard maybe a Pizza Hut commercial or something like that, or a lot of commercials will do music that I sing like.
That is so beautiful. And you're such a small person and all that. Tell me a yes. Well, my hair's like, run.
G-forces, stop.
No. Now, what character do you play in Il Trovatore?
In Il Trovatore, I get to play a woman by the name of Leonora. And she is a lady in the court, and she gets to wear these fabulous costumes.
Oh, so you love that.
That's the best part. I mean, being an opera singer is great because I get to dress up and still play dress up and have these fabulous wigs. I mean, I'm a blonde here, but on stage I'll be a redhead. I have great jewelry. I have these 4 beautiful costumes that weigh about 50 pounds each. And oh, it's just great. It's great. So. And she is in love with Il Trovatore, or the troubadour, and he serenades her. And so she's in love with his voice, and she's in love with him. They met at a jousting festival, and he won. Yeah, exactly.
No, you don't joust.
I don't joust.
Okay, good.
No, but I give him since he won, I gave him the wreath and put it on his head and stuff like that. And what I do in the first scene is describe that time when I met him. But then, after that, all of the knights went to war, and so I haven't seen him. Every once in a while,
You're still in love with him?
Oh, definitely. So there's Leonora, there's another lady in the opera. Her name is Azucena, and she's a gypsy woman. And this is actually one of the most confusing stories.
That's what Darko said.
Yes.
He said it's very complicated, but he put it very basic. You know, he
yeah,
kind of made
I'm
it very
sure he
basic.
Explained it.
Now, Philip. Philip is who's Philip?
He is Manrico. He's my.
Okay, now that's what we're going to go talk to Philip.
Right.
And what's his voice?
He's a tenor.
He sings.
He's the most unusual voice, I'd say, in opera.
Like you're a soprano for the
Right.
women, he's the highest of the male voices.
He's the highest of the male.
Well, great. Thank you so much, Anna, for
Thank
your
you.
time. I appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you.
Thanks.
Great. You'll look different, though, won't you?
Oh, totally.
Tommy was a bass. Anna was a soprano. This is Philip. How you doing, Philip?
I'm fine.
What kind of singer are you?
I'm a tenor. And a tenor is it's kind of like a high voice, like a soprano, but it's not the same quality as a soprano.
Anna's very high.
Yes,
Very high.
That's right. But there's most singers who are tenors, they're usually pretty famous if they can sing high, because the male voice, boys' voices are not supposed to get high.
That's right.
When you're a little boy, you have a really high voice. And then something happens. And it goes down, it goes lower.
Yeah.
But tenors can sing high. And so they sing songs, love songs like "O Sole Mio, da 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 da." They sing very high and very pretty. And that's what a tenor is.
You did that very well.
Oh, thank you.
Very
I've
good.
had lots of practice.
Well, that's I hear. Now, which is your character? Who's your character?
My character is Manrico. This opera is about Il Trovatore, means the troubadour. Manrico is the troubadour.
Oh, so you're
I'm-
Il Trovatore.
Yes, I'm Manrico. I'm
Oh,
the
I feel honored.
troubadour. So, stronger than any king is his love and the relationship he has with a woman. If he has that woman by his side, then he's stronger than any king in the land, and he's unbeatable.
And that woman is Anna.
Yes, Leonora.
Leonora.
Right, right.
I need to know, how are you different from, like, you know, a rap singer or a rock star? You know, how are you different? You're a singer.
Well, yeah, but those type of people, they're trained a different way, and they sing much lighter, and they sing with microphones. So you learn to use the microphone almost as an extension of your voice. It's part of your voice, and you're careful how hard you sing and that sort of thing. An opera singer, you really have to learn to breathe right, breath control and everything, and focus all the sound where it vibrates the most so that it
You don't
carries.
use a microphone?
No microphone.
You're kidding me.
No.
How do you get your voice? I mean, don't you have to? Aren't you going over top of an orchestra?
Over top of an orchestra, and usually in theaters that seat, 1,500, 2,000 people, sometimes 3,000 people, and you're trained to make vibrations in your face, just so that it's called the mask, and it's
Yeah.
not so it sounds that way. You don't want to sound this way all the time.
No, you don't.
But you sing a certain way so that happens there, and that sound cuts through everything and enables you to be heard. You don't have to have a huge voice to sing opera. You just have to have what they call resonance, or the ability to cut through everything.
And you use all that with your
Use
diaphragm, right?
your breath control, your support, and your focus of where you put the tone in your face. If you put it up here like that.
What's it called?
It's called squillo. When you have that kind of edge to your voice,
Yeah.
it's called squillo.
It's kind of annoying sometimes,
Yes, it
right?
can be annoying. If people talk like that, it can be annoying. But for singing, it's good.
Well, Philip, we look forward to seeing Manrico in his performance of Il Trovatore. Thank you for your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
And tenor.
Tenor.
Right? Tenor voice. It was very beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Look
Thanks.
forward to it. Hey, you on the couch, don't touch that remote. Up next, we meet a friend of mine, Pat, who's in charge of the costumes you see during an opera. Kind of like this one. How do I look? Lord. Welcome back to the opera, you guys. Guys, this is Pat.
Hi.
How you doing, Pat?
Fine. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. These are beautiful costumes. Why are costumes so important to an opera?
Mostly because a costume kind of shows you what the character looks like. And if you don't really know who they are or what they're doing, then the costume helps you figure out who they are. Obviously, this is a soldier because he has this hard armor here. It's made out of plastic and it is painted to look real. He is the count in our production, and so, but at one point he's a military man too, so he dresses up in his armor, and that's how you kind of know who he is. This is our leading lady, Leonora.
Oh, we met Anna.
Right,
We just talked to
exactly.
Anna. Oh, this is what she
that's
wears.
what she wears, and that's what she wears in the very beginning when the opera opens. So, and she's kind of glamorous, and she's glamorous all the way through, and she has lots of outfits, at least 4, and jewelry, hats, all that stuff to go with it.
Now, did you make these, Pat? or-
We didn't. We do make some costumes here, but we didn't make these. We rented these from an opera house that rents costumes in Canada.
Yeah.
And they sent them all to us, and you send them all your information, and they send you a package that comes with him with several outfits, her with several outfits, and so that's how it kind of works.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
so then
it
it cuts down a little bit on your job. Now, are there things that you make?
There are things that we make.
Like what?
We made one of her dresses from a different time, and she's going to wear one of those, and so it's her dress that she wears to the nunnery, or when she thinks she's going to become a nun. And so we made that dress.
Here, right here.
Here, right here. Sewed it.
Yeah, see the sewing machine?
Yeah,
all the thread.
Right,
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It is kind of fun, yeah.
Brainstorm.
And I'm kind of getting tired of this do, you know? I mean, I wear the same thing. Steven, is there anything you can do here with this do of mine?
I think we could fit you up with a wig.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well.
I'm going to take a seat and ask you a couple questions. Why are wigs and makeup important when you're doing an opera?
Well, opera singers never really look like the characters that they portray, so we have to kind of fudge that a little bit. Usually when somebody who plays the old man, they're usually not old enough, so we have to put them in a gray wig and give them old age makeup. And the leading lady usually doesn't have hair that's from the 1400s, so we kind of have to fudge that and make it look like it's from the 1400s because they didn't really have dye and perms and stuff like that back then, so we have to kind of fudge that more. This is Leonora's wig that you saw her, you see her dress.
Anna said she was going to have red hair. Now, is this real hair?
It's
Steven?
real human hair, and we actually make the wigs here. We take a little bitty hook and we tie it into this little net that you see right up here. There's a little net that these little knots are tied
yeah,
on.
it's so, but I can barely see it.
That's the idea, that you can barely see them.
And that's your normal hair, correct?
Well, actually, this is a little, I just wanted to show you that you really can't always tell. See, this is my real hair, and this is a wig.
That looks so natural.
We try to make them look natural.
Great. Now, when you're putting makeup on people, what kind of makeup do you use? I mean, you use like Maybelline, you use the same kind of stuff like that I use, or?
No, we use stage makeup because we can get away with a lot more because of the distance. The first people that actually get to see, when you're in the audience, you're at least 30 feet away from the person at the closest. So we can get away with a lot. So we do a lot of heavy-duty makeup that you wouldn't do, like you wouldn't want to wear. So before you leave, how about if I get just a little snip of your hair and we can add it into one of the wigs?
You know, I gotta run. I gotta go meet the conductor. But it was really nice, Steven. Thank you so much. I
Nice
appreciate
meeting
it.
you.
Bye. I'm just lounging here on the steps at the Harrison Opera House.
Hey, it's a great place to land.
It's beautiful. Guys, I want you to meet Peter Mark.
Hi.
You're the conductor, right?
Yes,
And-
I've got the stick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're the guy with the stick. What?
The baton. You can call it a baton.
That's what we prefer to
Yeah.
call it, a baton.
Yeah.
What's a conductor do?
A conductor's the person who actually drives the car when it's all together, when all the pieces are together. The conductor actually chooses the pieces, the artistic director, puts them together,
And then, unlike the stage director who tells people where to go and is responsible for everything you see, I'm responsible for what you hear.
Now wait a minute, you're telling me Anna and Philip and Tommy, all the singers, you pick them?
Yeah, I hear about 500 singers every year, and we've got a lot of talent in this country. And so I hear them from all over, and wherever they are, I bring them to this opera house, put them together in this Trovatore production, which is one of the most monumental, grandest operas that ever was written.
Yeah.
And these singers are like athletes.
The muscles, right?
You train the muscles.
Yeah.
But with the opera too, a composer has written the music, and then the director tells you exactly how to express it, but the conductor has to make sure to help you integrate all of that. So actually, most of the work is in coordinating all the people you have in front of you in the orchestra. I mean, there are like 50, 60, 70 people in the orchestra, all the people in the chorus, and then the soloists. There's so much energy. That's what makes opera so exciting.
Well, that's great. I mean, thank you so much for your time, and,
Good,
and
thanks
we
for
really
coming.
look forward
Good.
to it. Il
Good.
Trovatore. You guys, all the pieces of the opera are coming together. We've talked to the director, the costumes, the wigs, the singers. We even talked to the conductor. You know, what's left? I'll tell you what's left. What about all that scenery you see, all the things going in and going out of the scene? Well, that's why we're here with John Harris. How you doing, John?
Good, how are you?
I'm great, I'm great. What do you do for the opera?
Well, for the opera, I put all the things that you were talking about, I coordinate all those folks. I coordinate the costume staff, the set design staff, the lighting design staff, everybody.
Now, what's a set? When we talk about a set or scenery.
Well, set is a backdrop for a mood that you're trying to set for the opera.
Now, these
well,
are...
I brought some pieces of things we built.
This is not for Il Trovatore.
No, this is for Elixir of Love for the Florida Grand Opera. This is what we build from. We get drawings, we get models, and the designers design these pieces. This is a boat with lifesavers, and these are real lifesavers. Candy lifesavers.
Okay.
And blow it up and put it on the stage.
Wow, that's so cool.
Right.
Okay, now, I have a question. We've been talking about Il Trovatore. It's in Italian.
It's in Italian.
And I don't speak Italian. I don't really understand Italian, and I'm sure a lot of kids really don't unless they're from Italy. How are they going to understand this opera? How am I going to understand this opera?
Well, what we have is above the stage, we have a screen that puts everything in English, and it's called Super Titles. And we're standing right now, we're standing in the booth where they project the super titles.
Oh, yeah?
And it's all done on a computer. They put in the text, and it would come up on the screen, in the computer screen, and then it would come on the screen above the stage, which is just a big computer screen.
And it's just all spelled out, so all you have to do is read it, and then you can understand what
everything that's going on.
That is really cool. Well, John, thank you so much. You just filled in the last piece of this opera puzzle here. It's all coming together.
Well, you're welcome. And I hope everyone can come to the opera now
and
see all the shows that we do.
See? I'm not just going to say that. He's saying it too. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
I
Jen.
appreciate it.
How do opera singers' vocal cords change the pitch of sound? This is what you need. You need a hammer, a wooden block, a pencil, rubber bands, long and short, 2 nails, and a ruler. You also need an adult helper. Here's Jennifer. You ready? Well, here it goes. Ask an adult helper to nail 1 nail into the board.
Is that all right?
Yep.
All right.
Ask your adult helper to nail the second nail 6 inches away from the first nail. Next, take the short rubber band and wrap it around both of the nails. Now poke the rubber band with a pencil. Did you hear that pitch? Now replace the short rubber band with a long rubber band. Now take the pencil and pluck this rubber band. Now here are the results. The shorter rubber band produced a higher pitched sound. Why? I'll tell you. The rubber bands behave much the same as the two folds of tissue stretched across the larynx or the voice box. These tissues are called the vocal cords. As air passes through the voice box, the vocal cords vibrate. The pitch of the sound varies as the tension changes. When the cords relax, they vibrate slowly and the pitch is lower than when the cords are tightened.
Boy, can you believe all the things that make up an opera? It's incredible. I want to thank the cast and the crew of Verdi's Il Trovatore and my friend Tom here. Tom, it was wonderful. You were great. I didn't even recognize you.
Oh, well, there's lots of costumes and the wig. It's just hard. You have to pretend you're being another person.
You did and your voice is wonderful.
Oh, thank you very much.
Do you think you can teach me how to sing like that?
No. It takes so much. I can't.
Oh, well, I tried. At least he's honest. Well, that's it for Brain Stew this week. We will see you at the opera. Right?
Is this the first opera you've ever seen?
No.
Which other operas have you seen?
I've seen the first one that they had here in the series, which was Madame Butterfly, and then I saw, what was it? Elixir of Love.
The Tinderland, the other ones that I can't think of the names for one of them.
Why do you like operas so much?
Because they speak in a different language.
Do you speak Italian?
No.
I've been to the Tinderland.
And why do you come to operas?
I do not know that.
We've been to several operas here, and this has been one of the best ones. It's really fun just to come and see it.
I like operas because they have really beautiful music and the actors perform really well. And they sing very well too. I don't know how anybody can sing that high.
Why don't you try singing for us?